Every day, there's a battle for your mind raging. Information coming from every angle with the will to deceive. Fear not. You found the place for truth. The voice of a generation that still has the will to believe in the greatest country in the history of the world. This is the Charlie Kirk Show. Buckle up. Here we go.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. I'm Blake Neff, a producer, and I'm joined here right now by Tyler Bowyer. It feels weird. You're usually next to me when we're doing Thought Crime. I'm always here. You're always there. It's a little different just to have you across the desk like that.
Yeah, no, it's great to see you eye to eye, Blake, because I'm usually side-eyeing you.
Yeah, I'm always like this, and then I spend half of Thought Crime just with my head rotated like that on the camera. But no, we wanted to have you on, so I have good news, everyone. We had to warn everyone about this. We said the Tennessee 7th race is coming up. Don't ignore it, because Democrats definitely aren't ignoring it. And happily, yesterday, Matt Van Epps defeated Democrat Aftyn Behn, the woman who said she hated Nashville, hated bachelorette parties, hated country music, hated basically everything that made Nashville noteworthy. Yet a few polls, I think, showed her winning even, but did not come to pass. We were worried it would be close. In the end, it came out to Republicans winning by 9, but it was even a little bit better than that when the first early votes came in. The New York Times estimator said, Republicans will probably win by 2, and it just got stronger and stronger throughout the night. So there was very good Election Day turnout by Republicans, which shows the word got out. Don't ignore this. Don't sleep on it. Get there. Now, here comes the but. This is a district we won by 22 points. Trump won it by 22 points last November. The House margin was 21 points. It went to 9. Mm-hmm. So that is a serious swing towards the Democrats. Now, it's not cataclysmic. The Cook Political Report, and these eggheads who estimate these things, they say it's organically about a Republican plus 10 district. Yep. So winning it by 9, perfectly respectable result. But it is less. And so I'll throw to you here, Tyler. What should we make of this result overall, you think?
Well, there's a couple of things that we want to go through. So first and foremost, Turning Point Action is not in Tennessee. So we did not have a hand in this.
We're focused on the key swing states. Tennessee's not a swing state.
Charlie said this all the time. We're focused on the key target states, the swing states. However, the future of Tennessee is that it's going to be a swing state at some point. And this is
don't say that. Please don't say that.
People kind of razz me on X when I say things like this, but Tennessee, Utah, Idaho, these are targets. These are long-term targets for the left. And this is because
they want them to be like Colorado.
Yeah, large counties with large cities can topple a conservative state. So in Tennessee, you have the Nashville metro area has grown abundantly, just similar to Phoenix and Arizona. And this is what, people couldn't even imagine, couldn't even fathom a blue Arizona or purple Arizona. And we have seen that when we have a huge swing in population numbers, lots of outsiders move in, that it starts to change the dynamics of the state. And then when the Democrats spend tens of millions of dollars in these races, whether it's for Congress, Senate, president, governor, then you can lose. And we've seen a lot of red states, Kansas, Missouri, to name a few, where we've had Democrats win governorships. We've had statewide elections. So nothing is safe. You cannot look at any of these districts and say, even in a deep red plus 22, R plus 10 district, in this case, the R plus 10 district, a plus 22 Trump, there's a difference because there's a lot of crossover votes in red states where Democrats voted for Trump this last election cycle, where Democrats stayed home because they just didn't believe in Kamala Harris. That's the first step. So there's a little bit of a misnomer here, which is that this is a plus 22 district. This is not a plus 22 district, like you mentioned.
It's a district Trump won by 22.
This is a district that Trump won by 22. Some of that being half of the increase being that Democrats stayed home, half of the increase being that Democrats crossed over in a red state. Now, with that being said, this district was vacated by a Freedom Caucus member. Representative Green took a private sector job. I have to say this because it applies to everyone. We were just saying this. I was just saying this about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It is not helpful when we have such slim numbers in the majority to have people retiring midstream here.
Not even midstream. I think he announced his retirement in July. 6 months.
Yeah,
you are given a public trust when you run for an office.
You run to serve for the full term, and it's not difficult. It's not a difficult term. It's 2 years in Congress. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be running. And so, again, I'm not attacking either of the Greens in this case. I'm not saying that, things don't come up or people don't have illnesses or they don't have, there's lots of different reasons that people choose, and some of those are not public. However, it's not helpful. What is fair to say is it's not helpful for people to quit midstream right now. And with so few Republicans controlling Congress. Now, with that being said, that's why the special election became such a focal point for the Democrats, because if they spend more, they're going to turn out more. And in special elections, it's all about it's low turnout, right? So
enthusiasm.
It's all about enthusiasm. It's all about how many people can you actually get to show up to vote. It's not persuading people. This isn't a persuadable district. This is a +10 minimum, maximum +22 that Trump won by district. You should win this district if everybody shows up. That's not the case in special elections.
Yeah, I'm looking at its most recent. It had 322,000 votes in the last normal election, and then in this one, 179,000.
Yes.
So
you're talking
barely
about
half.
Yeah.
We got 97,000 votes to win, whereas the Democrat got 122,000 votes to lose by a ton last time.
Yeah, I think the projection was that it was going to be in the low 40s was turnout numbers when all said and done. I don't even know if they hit that in this case for the turnout. But 40, I mean, imagine that. Again, 40% turnout is really low for a federal race. So you have a situation here where this is people are freaking out because the amount of money and energy that was being spent for the Democrats.
Which is good. We got them to waste money on a thing. They lost by 9. But it still shows the reason you have to be aware. And Charlie would always talk about this is you have to be wary because Democrats, on average, they seem to care more. They get whipped up. Republicans are passionate about their families. They're passionate about their faith. But Democrats are passionate about politics because for many, politics is their faith.
But this is really important to understand. The people who sit at home, right? Obviously, that sat at home, that Trump won by that extra, 13 points or whatever the end result was. They didn't vote in this election either, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously that's not going to help you in the differential. The crossover vote didn't show up for this vote, right? The Democrats that voted for Trump didn't show up to vote for Matt Van Epps. So
we're definitely gonna get into at least one dimension of that in the next segment because we're talking about the Gen Z sentiment is very fickle around the past year of politics, and
there's two. Mm-hmm. There's Gen Z, which is really important to talk about, and millennials. Yeah, I'd say younger millennials. They're that have been crossing over in bigger numbers, and then you have the Freedom Caucus element. Mm-hmm. Those two elements played a role in not maximizing what this victory could have been, and it's a unique opportunity at this point forward for the White House who endorsed in this race, for conservatives in general, the Republican Party, the what I call some people call the establishment, but I call the machine, is everybody has to look at this and go, all right, how can we do better than this? I'm glad we won. I'm glad we won by about the amount that we control the district by registration. How do we do this better?
45 seconds. What's the message? We'll get into the grassroots next segment. What's the message for the donor class, the political class, the people who can make big, decisive moves now to make sure we're in a stronger place a year from now?
Well, look, like I said, kind of at the top of this, is that Tennessee is a future place that they want to topple. So we have to fortify Tennessee strongly now. And so you have to make the investment into the boots on the ground to make the difference. And that's what we talked about every day with Charlie. That's what we talked about.
It's a real thing. You want to have just that dominant get out the vote apparatus in a state before it's in crisis. Like in Arizona, it was suboptimal. And then we had to build it after the crisis arrived. And we may have lost races due to that.
That's right.
And we'll continue this into the next segment. But first, we want to talk to you about Jackson Ministries. We're delighted to be partnering with Alan Jackson Ministries. And today we want to point you to their podcast. It's called Culture and Christianity, the Alan Jackson Podcast. What makes it unique is Pastor Alan's biblical perspective. He takes the truth from the Bible and it applies to the issues we're facing today. Gender confusion, abortion, immigration, DOGE, Trump in the White House, issues in the church. He doesn't just discuss the problems, he dives into them. In every episode, he gives practical things we can do to make a difference. His guests have incredible expertise and powerful testimonies. Each episode will make you recognize the power of your faith and how God can use your life to impact the world today. Culture and Christianity podcast is informative and encouraging, and you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Alan Jackson Ministries is working hard to bring biblical truth back into our culture. Find more at alanjackson.com/Charlie. We'll be right back.